What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? This is FireDog, and today we have another Nintendo unboxing. Today we have the Super Nintendo Classic Edition, which is a remake of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System that was released back in 1991. Also known as the Super Famicom, released in Japan a year prior. What this is this is a remake of a very classic system, one that is near and dear to my heart, that Nintendo is re-releasing. It comes pre-packaged with 20 games, I believe, and just like with the Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition, the NES Classic Edition that they released a few months back, they only did this in limited quantities. And a little bit of a sad story for y'all. I actually worked really, really hard to get the NES Classic Edition. I was on the Best Buy website and the GameStop website and Amazon and everything else, and just worked and worked and worked and called around and just could never get one. I ended up getting lucky with the SNES Classic Edition because my local GameStop here were taking quote unquote sort of pre-orders. They could put your name on a waiting list, and I happened to be the last number on that waiting list for the quantity that they were allowed, that they were allocated. So I ended up getting really, really lucky there. I'm super excited, especially for this. I spent a lot of my childhood playing my Super Nintendo. I've played many of the games on here, probably 50 times throughout the course of my childhood. I loved them. They were great. So I'm super excited to see this and open this up for you today. Let's try it out. So, as you open it here, what's really cool is they have the Now You're Playing with Super Power logo there. And that's an homage to back in the day when the NES was released. It was Now You're Playing with Power. And then when the SNES came out a few years later, it was Now You're Playing with Power, Super Power. That was their kind of cool little gimmick or slogan that they gave. Oh, this is super cool. I'm already liking this. So it comes with a what looks like a booklet or a pamphlet or something in here. Yeah, here we go, the old sniff test there. Let's see. And in classic Nintendo colors with the racetrack design. Oh, this is cool. Okay. So this looks like, I'll open it up for you here, the old posters that they used to put in a lot of the Super Nintendo games and in a lot of the Nintendo Power magazines. They used to come with these cool little posters that you could kind of frame and hang up. So that's super cool. I like that. It does run on HDMI, and it does come with a battery pack that is USB. So there's your battery pack. I believe it comes with an HDMI cable. It does come with two controllers. To the classic kind of Super Nintendo controllers there, and I just gotta play with it. So it feels exactly, I mean, muscle memory in 20 years notwithstanding, but it feels exactly like the old Super Nintendo controllers. I mean, I think they just kept the same plastic molding and everything. This is wonderful. This is so cool, and it still feels great. The buttons are just as responsive as they've always been, So that's really cool there. There's another controller there. Let's see. And then this is probably going to be, yeah, okay. So it does come with an HDMI cord. It does come with a USB power adapter, and you don't get a huge big brick because it doesn't require a whole lot of power to run. So you get a small little power adapter there. And a good quality HDMI cord, just like with the other consoles. And then, wow, this thing doesn't weigh anything at all. Holy cow, this thing is super light. There is the actual console itself. Now, the eject button does not work because obviously there's not a flappy there. They did put a spring and a clicker in the power button there and in the reset, so that's really cool. That makes me happy. I'm curious how the controllers plug in. I guess I'll have to read the instructions for that, because as you can see, there's this little plastic molding here where the controllers would have normally plugged in. So I'll have to read about that. And there's a little LED right there, so they even included the original indicator. So there it is, and like I said, it is super light. It doesn't weigh but a couple of ounces at the most. On the back, you have your HDMI out, as well as the power there, and a vent, which is not needed because I believe there's a solid state drive inside. So there you go. That is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition. I'm getting ready to fire this up and play this. So yeah, this is going to be cool. I'm super excited. I really want Nintendo to do a GameCube Classic Edition. I think that would be super sweet. That's one that I missed out on. Unfortunately, I got one kind of later in its life cycle because I was in the Army at the time, so missed out on playing that. Oh, these flap down. Hang on. I want to show you guys this real quick here. It says, do these flap up or down? I don't want to break it. Open front cover by hooking your fingers gently and pulling up. Oh, it's all one unit. Okay, here, so you can see what I'm doing here. So to get this up, and then that just kind of comes down, and there's the ports right there. So a little flappy thing, and then there's your ports. Super cool. Okay, all right, I'm gonna go play this. You guys have a good one. Appreciate the likes, the subscribes. Let me know what you want to see, and you guys stay out of trouble.